Thanks for stopping by. Another session with Street Talk with Bar. I'm your host, Bar. And as always, rest in peace, Mr. Magic. Takes a wise man to learn from his own mistakes, and an even wiser man to learn from the mistakes made by others. That picture that you're looking at is a picture of my boy E-Rock. E-Rock. E-Rock was from Fort Greene Projects, the first side by Crack Alley. Back in the days when we was out, back in the 80s, they had an area over there. They had many areas. The far side was getting money, pony packs. Man, crazy. Crazy time. But yeah, E-Rock was over, he from that side, the Crack Alley side. And I met E-Rock back in junior high school. Him and my brother, Twan, was friends. So you're talking like 7th, 8th grade, 9th. And E-Rock and the infamous Killer Ben was friends. Killer Ben from Fort Greene. But back then, he didn't have Killer in front of it. We just used to call him Ben. When E-Rock introduced me to him, he was like, yo, this is my man Ben. Oh, okay, cool, what up, Ben? All right. So that's something like in 84. Like in 84. I used to hang with E-Rock and Fort at his crib, and Ben used to come over there all the time. So it was like me, Ben, and E-Rock, we was cool. You know what I'm saying? From meeting at E-Rock crib. He was mad cool. Shit, one time, the police even threw us three on the wall because we was in Crack Alley just coming through the projects, going to E-Rock crib, and they happened to be doing a sweep over there. So they threw us up on the wall. So after that day, I ain't see Ben no more. I ain't see Ben. So then I started staying more in my projects, chasing the bag. Now this is like early 86. And shit, guys. Oh yeah, I started chasing the bag. And now I'm hearing, like I said, the summer of 84 is when me and E and Ben used to hang out. By 86, I'm chasing the bag. Now you starting to hear Killer in front of Ben. Okay, Killer Ben. Now I ain't been seeing him or nothing. He over there establishing his, establishing that KB, doing his thing. So one day E-Rock comes to the projects. Now he was actually looking for my brother. So he said, yo, show him what's up. What's wrong with that? I said, oh, hey, nah, he ain't out here. He said, yo, you got them dimes? And I looked at him funny, like, nigga, you smoking? But you want dimes, bro. He said, so he started laughing. You know what I'm saying? Little pretty boy. Looked like a little baby in the face. So I'm like, yo. He said, nah, I want to go sell them. So I'm looking at him like, nobody ain't going. Like, you look like a little kid. Nobody ain't. So I gave him he gave me $200. I gave him $200 worth of cracks. Took them shits to Crack Alley. Came back with like 450, close to 500. I was like, damn, yo, that was fast, yo. So I gave him $500 worth of dimes. Broke them shits down. He came back with a G, like a half an hour. Like, damn, nigga. So he steady building up his flow. So it got to the point where he got up to like buying $3,000 worth of dimes. So I told him, I said, yo, check it. I'm gonna buy, me and you gonna go half, we could go half on 250 grams coke, quarter key. And yo, we be partners and just, so I'm already doing my thing in Farragut. So getting with him, we established this over in Florida. He like, all right, bet. I said, you're going to come out even better. Now you could get people to work for you. Because he was doing all of that hand to hand himself. Within like, I say within a week, me and him was being partners, yo. Within a week. So, E-Rock was doing his thing, yo. He was doing his numbers, yo. He was doing his numbers. I remember one day, there used to be a car dealership right on Flatbush Extension in Brooklyn. It was called Bridge Ford. It was a Ford dealership. And it was in between Farragut and Fort Greene. So I used to always walk by there, and they had this red car. It was called the Mercury XR 4 Ti. And I used to be saying to myself, damn, I want that shit. So, but the Mercor is the Ford had a German division, so they was trying to make cars to compete against Mercedes, BMW, because the Mercedes had the 190E and BMW had the M3. So when Ford jumped into that market, they came out with the Mercor XR4 Ti. So they had the XR4 Ti, and then they had the Scorpio. Yo, they were some cool cars, yo. That was my first car. So one day, me and E was walking past the dealership. So when we was walking past it, I said, yo, I want that fucking car. He said, yo, you want that shit? I said, yeah. Yo, within a week, yo, E has 17 bands for me, yo. I said, damn, my nigga. He said, you wanted it? And yes, everybody from around the way know, yeah, that's how I got that car. My boy E bought that for me. Yep. Went right to the dealership. I gave him 15. He wanted 18, but I gave him 15 for it. No, he took that. No, he wanted 16.5. 16.5. He took, yeah, there you go. 16.5. So, then so a couple weeks go by after he bought the car for me. I ain't hear from him in like a week straight. So I'm like, damn, that ain't usual. Cause he ain't been calling me to, do no business, to go buy no work or nothing. We from that 250, me and him we got up to buying like 2 bricks and just bagging it up, putting it on the streets. That's how, oh man, that little dude was definitely, and the sad part about it, man, that shit was so quick, man, cause I remember when it started and when it ended. That shit was fast, yo. And I'm talking in reference to his life. That shit was fast. So anyway, I don't hear from my man for about a week. And I go over there. So when I get to the building, I see a big ass cherry red, brand new spanking red dirt bike parked under the building. I said, oh my God, I know this belongs to this nigga. So I go upstairs. I'm like, yo, E, I'm not gonna, yo, E, what up? I said, yo, I ain't hear from you. So he was like, oh, nah, man, yo, Bar, yo, I've been doing my own thing. I've been ringing up on my own. And, it's kind of customary, you know what I'm saying? And, natural human behavior, I believe, in men anyway, to like feel some kind of way off the initial impact of somebody telling you, about your money. But I did that before to somebody who I used to work with when I was doing my numbers in Farragut. And boom, I started buying my own weight. So it's dudes that'll take that personal and be like, that's their money because they provide you work for them. It's dudes that'll take that personal. Y'all have beef for life. But I was blessed to not be with a dude like that when I went on my own. Boom. I don't know how he took it personal, but he ain't had no problems with me afterwards. So even though I took it kind of personal, I had to let my man do his thing. And did his thing. That little nigga was doing his thing, yo. Word. He rock. And then, I woke up to that dreadful news, some jealous motherfucker from over there, shot him in the back of his head, behind the ear, like execution style on the roof. Rest in peace, E-Rock. So then after that, this was me and Killer Ben we bump heads because one day we in the projects and we just chasing a bag. We don't have no firearms right there. Because sometimes you got to be like that when you're chasing a bag. See, stick up dudes and dudes that do that, they move around with the gun all the time because, they don't know where that shit gonna come from or when an opportunity may arise, and that gun stay with them. See, when you hustling, and you out there with your team and y'all, the guns need to be nearby. But sometimes, like if earlier that day, if it was hot in the projects, you don't really want to keep the guns in sight because now you just want to be able to bounce with the drugs and get the money off you because they be having marked money on. They be having marked money. You know what I'm saying? So they figure you may try to get rid of the drugs, but you're going to keep the money on you, and they got the numbers already recorded. So we always knew we got to get rid of the drugs and the money. You know what I'm saying? So now a gun too. So that particular night, like I said earlier in that day, it was hot. Police kept jumping out on us, so we had to do countermeasures with the gun. And Ben just came out of nowhere firing at us. We didn't even know who he was. We just bounced. It was kind of like, when I think back, it was like, I don't know how I could get myself in that mode of thinking no more, but like you had like an adrenaline rush because it was like kind of funny that nobody got hit. Now we got to step our game up. When we go out, we got to keep our guns on us now, you know what I'm saying? But the second time he did it, we kind of exchanged fire, and he came with a couple more like reinforcements that day. But then I wound up speaking to Ben. I think it was we had a payphone in front of my building. So there was a few times, even 50 used to call the shit out of that payphone when something in Fort Greene happened, something in Farragut happened. That payphone in front of my building was hot. Like we owned that shit. Like people from jail used to call there. Yo, yeah, so some kind of way Ben called the payphone, and me and him was talking on the phone, and he said something. He said he heard that I had owed E some money. That's why he came at me like that. I said, nah, I ain't owe that nigga no money. I said, man, he been doing this, like, he been doing his own thing, Word, I ain't owe that nigga no money. And from that day on, I ain't seen Ben. No, I ain't seen Ben no more. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen Killer Ben no more after me and him or heard from him. Next time I heard about him, he was going to jail, right? So he had got caught, whatever, something for it. I don't know what I had to do with it. But he had got caught. And so I ran into this dude in Harlem. Now my brother passed away, Twan passed away. So I ran into this dude in Harlem. I said, yo, Sean, I was locked up with a dude named Killer Ben from Fort Greene, I said, oh yeah, I know Ben. But when the dude said that, like I said, my last conversation with Ben was, I didn't owe E-Rock no money. You know what I'm saying? That was my last conversation with Ben. And like I said, being that we didn't have no more exchanges with the firearms, because it was about at least 2 months before I heard he got locked up. So after our last little bang out, 2 months went by. You know what I'm saying? And it was at least 2 months, the minimum. So that's why I figured it was cool. It's not cool where you gonna sleep on him. He ain't rocking nobody to sleep. But, we ain't have no more shootouts, so I just left it at that. So when the dude from Harlem, when I ran into him, he said, this was like in 93, something like that. He's like, yeah, man, your man told me to tell y'all, because I told him I knew y'all because y'all used to be uptown. He said, yeah, he said, tell me and my brother, tell Sean he better, what he said it? Oh, tell them niggas them niggas from Farragut, they better suit up when I come home. And I was like, word? I was like, all right, cool, no problem. Now, the crazy part was, when Ben came home, I didn't even know it. So one day I'm in a barbershop on Myrtle Avenue, and I had my oldest son with me, and I'm sitting in there, I'm nodding out, waiting to get me and my son a haircut. And on one of my nod outs, when I woke up, this nigga Ben was standing right over me. And I jumped up. I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? And nigga had on all this jewelry, Rolex, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know he was home. And he just stuck his hand out, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, sorry to hear about Twan, yo. And I gave him a 5. I was like, oh, yo, thanks, man. I said, yo, when you got out? And he was telling me how long he been home. We was chopping it up a little bit, then he left out the barbershop. And that was the last time I heard him. a song. It was about 2 or 3 weeks later, he got killed. So, rest in peace, E-Rock. Rest in peace, Killer Ben. Word. Yeah, some people ain't gonna like Killer Ben, but Killer Ben got a hell of a following in Fort. If you know, you know. So, that was my dealings with Killer Ben through my main man, E-Rock. That's right. Ben was ready to knock my head off for us, man. E, that's the kind of effect E had on people, you know. Then he got killed by a dude. I ain't gonna give him no clout on my channel, but he knew the dude. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but that's life. Bar.